Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nicole Oman.
And I'm Ryan Oman.
And together we are the Empowering Omens. And we are live today talking about our Celebration Sunday or Spirit Sunday.
Spirit Sunday, yes. We're dealing with the crown chakra, aka Sahasrara, which is connected to Source. And it is called the 1,000 petal lotus. So we're going to open up this lotus that is connecting us to Source. We're also going to do a quick recap of the energy that we were in last week with each individual chakra. And then we will open up the energy for the next week to come.
Absolutely. And so last week we were dealing with abundance. And so as we were dealing with abundance, we moved all the way through those chakras. So if you didn't see those videos, you can go on our YouTube channel and check them out and really clear each chakra where you are holding on to any fears or doubts you have around lack mentality or really manifesting and receiving abundance in your life. And so we're going to close that out, and then we're going to go in, and really it is a step. So each one of these is kind of like a ladder, and it inspires the next one. And next week, or this week, we're going to be talking all about the deeper elements of the law of attraction and attraction itself. So we'll go into that in a second.
Yeah, and Nikki brought up the ladder visualization. So as we progress through the week, we'll start on Monday with Muladhara, or the root chakra, and work our way all the way up the ladder of the chakras, if you will, the ladder of the spine, the Kundalini ladder. And then on Sunday, when we meet with the crown chakra, what we're going to do is then slide back down through that week. So we're going to reestablish what we went through in the week. And I know if you guys are processing the way we are, you've gone through a lot. So this is our way of putting our arms up in the air and going, wee, because that's what we do when we have fun. We refer to ourselves and some other people.
Wee. So let's recap real quick and make sure you stay through the entire video, because we are going to go over next week. We're going to do a crown chakra meditation to seal off this week, and then we're going into next week, and you'll see what the week ahead's like, and we're going to bring us all into the beauty of attraction. And we're going to be talking about where we suppress being attractive, why we're afraid to shine, to let our truth out, to let our beauty out, and where we find jealousy. And we get into those states of feeling suppressive of our mates. We're scared, and all those things that we have around really letting our light shine and being who we truly are, being authentically us. So next week is going to be like so super duper powerful. I'm already feeling, we felt it. We did meditation about it this week, or just a few minutes ago. Oh my God, how we suppress ourselves is crazy. And we're going to help us get through that, because I know a lot of people have body issues, weight issues, all these things, because we are really afraid to allow ourselves to be attractive.
Yeah. So let's not put the carriage in front of the horse. We have to recap what we did last week, which was about abundance. So the first thing we're going to do is bring it back to the crown chakra, or Sahasrara. This is our direct connection to Source. So this is the God bowl, if you will. This is the universe bowl. This is the knowing bowl. So we want to embrace this knowing, this fulfillment of a week of a lot of really heavy work that we've been working on energetically, probably physically, also I know emotionally, personally, and definitely a whole lot of mentally. So all of those things come together today on Spirit Sunday, where we can put a period at the end of the sentence and start a new one. So we'll start out with where we were with the crown chakra, which is the source card. Okay?
We have the source card for this week, and the two cards we have is, are we going to shine, or are we going to suppress? So that's going into our attraction as well. Are we going to allow ourselves to trust that light within, or are we going to hold back our talents, hold back our knowledge as we are trying to get abundance in our life? It's not just abundance of money and having all those physical, beautiful, safe things, which are amazing, but it's also about being fully abundant in our expression of our fulfillment, of receiving the things that we need on all levels, not just physical. What are your spiritual needs? What are your mental needs? What are your emotional needs? Are you abundant in full, whole fulfillment? And if we have something that's locked up and we're not fully expressing ourselves, then we are not opening up to receive that great, powerful abundance in our life. So as we go in, we're going to focus. And the funny thing is, next week, guess what card I pulled for the root chakra? Ladder.
So it's not going away.
It's not going away.
Got lots of source going on.
So we have source. So we're bringing the crown to the next ladder. So what we are ending with today is what we're starting with tomorrow.
And this is a really great theme for you to kind of sink your teeth into. None of this is linear. It's all cyclical. The beginning of one is, or the end of one is the beginning of the other. Just like Semisonic's closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So what we're going to do now is bring in that abundant energy into our source, our knowledge, our connection to source, our connection to spirit, our connection to God. Whatever you envision as the holiest of holies, that's what we want to connect to. We want to be abundant in our access to knowledge, in our access to wisdom. And so what
access to source and realizing we're one with source. When you realize that you're one with your own light, there is no lack. Nobody can take who you are away from you. Nobody can take your connection to source energy away from you. And when we think we're in lack, it's because we are not connected to our own source energy. We're in what we saw before in last week, which was in comparison.
Right.
We are comparing our source light to someone else, then that's when we feel lack. But if we can connect and really bring in this source light right here and allow it to fill us up, you don't have to worry about what anyone else is doing or if they're shinier than you. You are shiny enough. You are enough. And you are that source. You are the source.
Well, and that actually brings up a good point. Before we close out last week, we got to go back and talk about what did we do last week, right? So we just talked about source with the crown chakra, but we're also working with suppression in the third eye chakra, okay? So that was something that we were working with when it came to dreams and the mind, and there was some programming against abundance. So we're processing through that, and then we're going down into the throat chakra.
Which we were into guidance. We had to listen to the guidance of our inner child, the inner play, what we were truly needing, and that is what we worked on for the throat.
Right. And in the heart chakra, it was all about going with the flow. We talked a lot about the idea of when you're stuck in a riptide and you have to go with the side, you have to go parallel to the shore before you can get in, push back into the shore when you're swimming, as an analogy. But also we talked about the toroidal field and how that toroidal field is just like the same thing. You've got a current going one direction and then it comes back and goes the other direction, and it's this cyclical current in the heart chakra.
And then we went with the solar plexus, what I just talked about, the compromise or comparison, and the comparison of ourselves to other people, and allowing that to be really let go and see who we truly are. Yeah,
and then in Svadhisthana, or the sacral chakra, we talked about transformation. There was some guilt going on there, and dealing with what's the truth of your sexuality or of its sensuality, or how you deal with pleasure. All again revolving around your relationship with abundance.
And then we went right into the root where we were dealing with massive amounts of control around our abundance, which that's easy to do when you're feeling lack.
It definitely is.
And so that's what we cleared this week. So we're gonna seal it here with source, allowing that to be cleansed one more time, and then setting us off to our journey for this next week ahead.
That's right, guys. So we threw a lot at you last week, and feel free to, whatever resonates with you right now, to bring that into this meditation. You feel free to do the ohms with us. The sound of the crown chakra is the ohm, so feel free to ohm along with us with
Just
the omens.
Connect with the omens.
Ohm with the omens.
Ohm with the omens. Oh, I like that. That should be the ohm with the omens. So I just want you to imagine that source light right here and just allowing it to fill you up, and then fill each one of those up so you are re-energized for the week ahead.
There we go, guys.
chakra, I am source, and we ground it all the way in, where we have source light in our crown, our third eye, our throat, our heart, our solar plexus, our sacral chakra, and our root, merging source with each aspect of our full nature, of our full being. And it is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. And as we close up that week, we are going to start talking about the theme of our next week, which is the deeper state of the law of attraction, And so Ryan and I woke up today with a lot of distortion around attraction because of our past. And because of, we lived in LA together, and we went to be shiny, we went to be actors. And what we got is we started to realize we were coming from a place of needing validation rather than shining our light. And because of that, we brought in a whole lot of drama into our lives and into our relationship and into just our experience.
Yeah, and I would say, having been through all that, it's very easy to fall into this thought that attraction is then dangerous. We need to avoid attraction at all costs. We can't be attracted to other people, and we certainly can't have other people be attracted to us, because that is dangerous. And the truth of the matter is, it's not. You need to be able to have balance with that. Like any other energy, you need to be balanced with attraction. And that's what this next week is going to be all about, helping us achieve balance with attraction. We're attracted to others, or they're attracted to us, or whether we're talking about attracting abundance, like we talked about last week, or we're attracting a partner, or we're attracting a community, whatever it may be, we want to achieve balance.
And one of the big things that I started to feel with this attraction energy is how we manifest it. I have worked with a lot of weight loss clients in my career, and a lot of them don't want to own their own beauty, especially women, right? So where we find our biggest fears and also our biggest yearning is we want to be attractive. We are like the flower. We want to open and be seen and be worshipped, if you will. We want to be seen in our own beauty and our own attraction. But if you have been rejected in the past, what begins to happen is we begin to go to other things to satiate us, like food, like sex without any fulfillment. And because of that, that makes us feel worse about ourselves rather than better. And we end up putting a protection layer over ourselves. And then we are not actually attracting, we are isolating. And so we have to look at both attraction and isolation. Okay?
Right.
Where do we isolate ourselves to protect ourselves? What do we self-sabotage in our life to attract or to isolate so we don't have to deal with the light and the beauty that lives within you?
Yeah.
And for men, it's all around success.
Yeah, well, I mean, the man is all about going out and making things happen, getting things done, achieving, acquiring, building. And for the men, when they have disappointment, when they put themselves out there and try to attract a mate, or they try to connect with a female or a feminine entity, they end up shutting down and protecting themselves. And they do it in a different way than women do, but there's still the same energy of wanting to protect, because you don't want to open yourself up and make yourself vulnerable. And Nikki brought up the analogy of a flower and how a flower opens up. And let's not forget that each individual chakra represents a different lotus. And as we're envisioning all these lotuses opening up with the energy of each one, we want to treat it just like you would a flower. You can't force a flower to bloom. You can only encourage it and create an environment in which a flower can bloom.
Exactly. And we have to nurture ourselves, nurture our worth, nurture our beauty, nurture ourselves so we can feel safe enough to feel vulnerable when we open up to that attraction energy. Because being a woman, it's funny when oh my God, I'm going to get really vulnerable here. Before I had my children, I had really perky breasts. And I used to hide them. He always used to say that. He's like, you hid them, and now that I don't have them anymore, I'm more like, I don't care, I won't wear bras. But it was because I got so much attention from them that it made me shrink. And because I felt all masculine sexual energy, I felt unsafe. I had to protect myself. And so it's funny, now that my body has changed, I feel more comfortable in my skin rather than feeling more self-conscious. So it was actually like letting them go and really honoring where my body is now made me feel more confident than I was before.
Right.
But we have to look at these weird things that we do to protect ourselves because we feel that energy.
I had a similar experience with my body, actually. I was always just hell-bent on having the most physically strong, low body fat percentage, that perfect body. As a matter of fact, I got to the point where I did a commercial for Bowflex, and I realized that it wasn't comfortable. So those people who you see who have taken pictures and they're completely shredded with single-digit body fat percentage, let me assure you, they are not happy and they're not really healthy. They may look incredible, but it's not a place where you want to live all the time.
It's not balanced.
It's a means to an end.
It's
exactly.
not balanced.
And so I'm going with my own, right now actually in my life, I'm going with my own balance with physicality. It's becoming a different relationship for me. And so I think that that's something that both male and female people can deal with this idea of how the body is seen, because it's our billboard. We walk around with it. It's our advertisement. People see a lot through the body, and the body doesn't lie. If you're healthy and you feel vibrant, that shows. And if you're unhealthy and you feel depressed, that also shows. It's very difficult to hide those things. And that's why something like a food addiction is so much easier to see than something like an addiction to social media or alcohol or drugs, because your body indicates it in such a way. And so when you look at your body and you're either grossly overweight or grossly underweight, you can look at yourself and not see the truth of what your body is because you're projecting onto your body all of these issues that are manifesting through the body, and that's called body dysmorphia. And it goes both ways. It's not just for people who are really, really fit. There's anorexia, there's bulimia, there's obesity. All those things are all trapped in the body, and all it really is just a manifestation of our own perception
and
of who we are.
And our own insecurities around that, and also protecting ourselves. Because I see the extremists with it, and it's like Ryan says it a lot with people in the gym. If you're spending so much time on the gym because you have to be perfect, that's perfectionism being manifest, and control being manifest in the body. And we're looking to attract from our authenticity, not from our wounding. We're looking to attract from health, from a nice, beautiful balance. And if your balance is putting on 10 pounds of weight because it's healthy for you, that's what we do. We have to unravel some of these things that we have that society has conditioned us to believe is attractive. You know when you're the most attractive? When you really own and honor yourself in all ways. Yeah. Spiritually,
when
mentally, emotionally, and physically. And you have to honor the physical too, right? So we want to be in a healthy zone with our bodies. We don't want to get to the point where in either diabetes or our body is shutting down. Women, if we get too small, we don't get our periods, and that's not healthy either, right? Yeah. So we need to find this beautiful sweet spot of attraction. And so this week we are going into, you have a sacred divine birthright to be attractive. And whatever that feels right for you, you have a divine birthright. And your partner has a divine birthright to shine. Because what I've begun to realize is sometimes we are afraid when our partner is shining, because if they're shiny and they're attractive and they're attracting other people, oh my God, they can leave me. And then I have a place of scarcity and lack, and I'm scared that Ryan's going to leave me if he's attracted. And I had to unravel some truth, and I had to be really honest with myself and say, oh my God, there's part of me that doesn't want you to shine because you might leave me if you're attractive, right, or attracted to someone else's beauty. And right, so then I get jealous and insecure around another woman's beauty because I'm scared that this thing that I value is going to leave because of that. But how are we suppressing ourselves? How are we giving our power away? Right. And how are we suppressing the beautiful people around us? Yeah. Because because we're afraid.
Yeah, and you think that those thoughts are going to keep you safe, and that's a trap, because like Admiral Akbar would say in Star Wars, that's a trap. What's going to happen is you're going to keep yourself so safe that you disconnect all of your attraction. And there's been a lot of stuff actually I've seen on the internet this week, or the past week, about the law of attraction and why it doesn't work for you. Well, the fact of the matter is you may be protecting yourself from your own law of attraction. You're trying to manifest all these wonderful things, but you're not allowing yourself to be attracted to these things or letting these things be attracted to you. So as we move into the theme of the week, the attraction energy, I want you to consider what you're blocking yourself from. And is it because you think you're safe? Are you trying to rationalize this block as a safety measure to keep you from getting hurt? Or are you just not allowing yourself to shine? So speaking of shine, moving into Manifestation Monday this week, I think I already put up this card like 4 times, but the source card, I think we know what it is. It's big, it's bright, it's shiny, it's the source card. So as we move into Manifestation Monday, we're going to go deeper into this source card, this idea of being connected to the true you, the true self. And as it's around Manifestation Monday, it's going to be around the body. So we already tapped into a lot of this body dysmorphia, these distortions around what the body should look like or should feel like, and what's going to attract the mate that you're looking for or the community that you want to connect with. So we'll go into deeper detail about that on Monday.
And it might be with abundance, because we are trying to come out of our spiritual closet, if you will, and we're trying to allow ourselves to attract tribe or attract people that are in our, that need our message and whatnot. And I find that we are going into fear of being attractive again, because the last time we tried to put ourselves out there, we were in a different space. It was in a more validation space. Now we're in a service place. But I find that we are still going, should we shine? Like, can we shine? And that is really interesting. Are we shutting down our own possibilities, our own opportunities, because we don't want to put ourselves out there? We don't want to be seen. We don't want to express our truth. We don't want to be rejected. And so around attraction, if you have fear of being attractive, is because you probably are afraid to be rejected. Yeah. So we have to look at that, because this week we've pulled some really interesting, the harder card. We didn't pull all the shiny bright cards. We got mind, sorrow, guilt, politics, all these burdens. There's all these cards around our attraction, and I was like, I didn't even realize this was existing. But we
need to get into that card there right now.
Which one?
This one here. You spent all that time writing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote down the Marianne Williamson quote.
If you guys haven't seen what Marianne Williamson is up to, please get in the know. Crawl out from underneath that rock and check it out. Card.
We have the politics here.
She's doing some powerful work. If you guys saw the Democratic debate last week, man, she's putting herself out there in a very heartfelt way, and who knows what's going to come of it, but she's saying things that other people would be terrified to say. And so if nothing else, we applaud her for ability to call a thing a thing. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's not getting caught up in the rhetoric, and it's a pretty amazing thing to witness. And Nikki and I are not into politics, so it's something that we're very resistant to, but with a woman like Marianne Williamson out there saying the things that we are saying here and that you folks are saying on the Golden Collective, and that other people who are of conscious mind, body, and spirit, that's amazing stuff. And it's kind of hard not to get attracted to that campaign. So this quote comes directly from Marianne Williamson.
Well, and I want to say this, this is a big thing with attraction too, or success, right? So when she first started to run, I was like, why is she running? She's not going to win. And it dawned on me like, hey, dummy, it doesn't matter if she's going to win or lose. No. She's in there changing something. Yes. So if you know her, she is a light worker in the middle of the political debate, which is unbelievable. She's like, let's stop talking about this and talking about chemicals and all the things that are hurting us and she's blowing open a perspective. And so even if you don't like everything she's saying, she's a light worker shining some really harsh truth to a very weird system. Yeah. So she even talked about how Donald Trump kind of has a platform of fear and she has a platform of love. Now, she might not win, but man, is she inspiring people and she's waking people up. So it's brilliant. Anyway,
even to the point where some of the other nominees are actually contestants. I don't know what you call them. The people who are all bickering with each other. A lot of them are actually stealing a lot of her quotes. And a lot of her ideals, so it's kind of interesting, you know.
You don't have to win to change the world.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. She doesn't have to win to change.
It's not about winning. It's about growth. It's not about perfection. It's about the process.
Totally.
All right.
Okay, so here's a quote, and I want you guys to listen to this because this is gonna this is starting our entire week around attraction, and I really want you to hear this because it's not just, it's for you. This is the deepest truth, okay? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others don't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us, not just in some of us. In all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Hear that.
Give yourself permission.
You are allowed to shine.
You have our permission. We will give you permission. If you don't want to take your own permission, we will give you permission to shine. Shine.
This is about, attraction is about shining. It's about being beautiful. It's stripping down every petal and allowing yourself to be completely vulnerable and be yourself. Allow yourself to radiate the brilliance that you are. Letting go of those fears of scarcity, that fear of lack, the fear that someone will abandon you, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being good enough, because that is all bullshit. And what you truly are is a glory, a manifest of the glory of God. And you are allowed to open that up, because if we don't open that up, we all will be suppressed by the bullshit paradigms that are on the planet right now. Yeah. You are the savior you are looking for. You are the brilliance you are looking for. And if you don't share it with us, you are creating a great disservice to yourself and to the planet. You are the manifest of God. Be willing to be attractive, and whatever that looks like to you, you don't need to protect yourself. Find your tribe, so we are protecting each other like a canopy of trees.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
If we stick together as a tribe, we can come out and speak the truth that needs to be said. So let's stand by Marianne. Let's stand by each other and allow things to change. Let's allow ourselves to be joyous in our shining. Let's embrace each other's shining instead of tearing each other down and being jealous. And realizing the only reason why we're jealous of that person is because jealousy and admiration are a very fine line. And if you realize
two sides of the same coin.
You are just admiring their shine and feeling that you have lack of that, and realize that you are not lacking that they are just the essence or the mirror of your potential, then you get to nurture your shine and not protect it and not isolate.
That's right.
I went on a tangent.
So now we have all of this wonderful energy that we can take into this very difficult week that is coming up. Now, don't get scared.
No. It's not about being scared.
It's the hard work that leads to the goal, right? So I always think it's funny when you watch a movie and especially an action movie. And the one that always comes to mind for me is Rocky. There's always a training montage. There's a montage sequence where they put on a great song, a powerful song, and they show this person, and they try to make it, and then they fall, and then they get back up, they try to make it, and they fall, and then the third time they succeed, and they high five, and they jump around in the water with their knee-high socks on and their teeny tiny shorts. The point being is that part of the movie is the biggest, most difficult part that character has to go through. And usually it's only like a 2 or 3 minute long song, okay? We're going to have a montage week. So whatever song you need to listen to, and I've been meaning to talk about this for a while actually, we've created some playlists for you. So if you go on to Spotify, if you're a member of Spotify, you can look me up, Ryan Michael Oman. It's just all one word, Ryan, Michael, and Oman. And then you can look on there. We have playlists for each individual chakra. So you can use these playlists to be your montage, or you can create your own playlist. If you're not on Spotify, if you use some other form of music, just gather music that resonates with whatever you're working with. And the point being is make it your montage. When you're going through those hard parts, turn on that music and let the vibration of the music really drive you through the more difficult times, because we've seen the week coming up, and it's gonna be a challenge. But
we're gonna be going through our crap, because when we're talking about attraction, we have some old repressed BS that is keeping us suppressed, right? Mm-hmm. We got the suppression card at some point this week too. So we have suppressed this, whether this be ourselves because we were rejected, and so we suppressed our shine because we didn't want to be rejected and put ourselves out there again, or whether it was somebody that told you not to because they were afraid and they wanted to control you, and they wanted, don't go out, don't, no, I don't want you to be seen because I don't want you to be attractive, right? So if you were in a controlling relationship, you were in an old abusive relationship, that person was trying to isolate because they didn't want to lose you, right? So if you have some paradigms of that, all that crap might come up because we are moving through the fear and going into the courage of allowing ourselves to be seen, allowing ourselves to be heard, and allow ourselves to shine in our own worth, in our own power, in our own glory. And so the shit will come up. I mean, when you put light on something, it was funny when I started doing Reiki, I had this guy client, and he's like, I don't want that anymore. I had a headache for 4 days. It was that Reiki. It was the Reiki's fault. And I was like,
kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe you had some stuff you were working through that was under the surface.
Exactly.
And we didn't want to bubble up. So just as these things start to bubble up for you, just remember it's part of the process. If they're bubbling up, that means they're underneath the surface. And the bubbling up means we get to deal with them. We get to purge them. We get to exfoliate them, let them go, and then transform into that new version of you that you so desperately want. But you gotta let that shit come to the surface. If you don't, you're not going to get that process of transformation that you're looking for. You have to deal with it.
Yes, and we can't avoid the dealing with it. That's part of the process. It's not perfection. It's the process. Right. And the process is owning what has been suppressed. It's not about indulging in it, but it isn't about ignoring it either. We have to see. I had to see that I did have fear around Ryan stepping into his power because I didn't want to lose.
Because I am so powerful.
Because it creates attraction, and men and women are attracted to beauty and power and empowerment.
And confidence. Yes, this is something I've had to come to terms with, because all the time in the gym never made me any more confident. Didn't matter how perfect my body looked, I was still steeped in insecurities. And so it doesn't really matter about the window dressing. It matters what's happening in there, in the middle, in the source, right? And that goes back to where we were talking about Manifestation Monday, working with Muladhara, and talking about source. We pulled a card as well for Monday, which is the mind card. So there may be some mental distractions not allowing you to get to that source, but we'll go into that more on Monday.
We'll do it tomorrow.
And then Tuesday, what do we have pulled for Tuesday?
Sorrow and consciousness.
Yes,
so again, the same thing. So it's, but we'll go in, you know what, we should probably go into those. We'll give them a teaser, but we should probably go into those. But we can.
Yeah, we're just going to give them a little taste.
We'll give them a taste.
Yeah,
so what we have is the mind and the source.
For Monday.
Tuesday, we'll be going into...
Was the mind in reverse?
Yes.
Okay, mind in reverse, source upright, Manifestation Monday, coming your way tomorrow.
So we have the the sorrow card and we have the consciousness card.
Consciousness card. See how organized we are?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to do this, so I'm like,
that's all right. So here's your sorrow card.
And we have the consciousness card. I just don't
and the
have
consciousness card. That's okay. On Tuesday, we'll be talking about Svadhisthana, also known as the sacral chakra, and this is around sexuality. It's around pleasure. It's around.
So we have some deep sorrows that need to come up, and we need to be aware of them.
Yeah.
That consciousness card in reverse is telling me we don't want to look at what we are feeling sorrowful about in our own sexuality.
Yeah.
So we might be feeling a lot of rejection and shame around our sexuality that we have to be really honest with. Because sexuality is a very tricky thing. And it might be not just that for ourselves, but we might be rejecting our mates too, which that can bring up a lot of sorrow.
Yeah, think about times you put yourself out there sexually or even just in a community and you've been rejected. And that really hurts. And guess what? Some of that stuff's going to come to the surface. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to process it. You're going to have to embrace it. But don't indulge in it and don't avoid it. Just allow it to be. Work through it. Trust me. We're all going to get through this together.
And then that is going to really build into, guess what, our worth. And so in our solar plexus, we have suppression and guilt.
Woo!
And so we
heavy
need to,
stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean,
heavy.
This has been wearing on our self-worth for decades, guys. So this week we are going in there with a chisel and hammer and we're going to start opening that up. And if you feel resistance to us and our work on YouTube, that means you probably need it the most.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be...
Oh no, are our views going to go down?
We might.
Oh no. What are we going to do?
It means we're rejected.
Yes, we're being suppressed with our guilt.
No. So we want to open that up this week. So we're going to really work on our worth. And by the time we get to our heart chakra, we're going to find some completion in this. And also some silence. Oh my God, we might even...
darkness, my old friend.
We might find some sense of relief in this heart chakra.
I think we will. I think by the time we get here, when we get completion and silence, we are going to feel
holy hell,
a whole heck of a lot better. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe some heavy lifting and maybe some rough tread, but we're going to get there. And when we do, I want you to really enjoy it while you can, because it's something... If you go through all the work, if you go through that montage sequence and you don't feel like you've accomplished something on the other side, you won't want to go through it again. And remember, this is all cyclical. It's going to come back around, and that's just life. That's samsara. That's what we're in. So you have to embrace that cyclical nature of things. But if you don't celebrate when you've accomplished something, you're never going to have enough energy to go back into the process again.
You know, and it's one of those things too of not being afraid of the hard stuff. Right? Because if we're always avoiding the hard stuff, then you're not going to have the breakthrough. So going through your stuff this week is a beautiful thing. Guess what? You might be seeing this on YouTube later, but guess what? This week we have a total solar eclipse. So that source card is going to be lit up craziness. And so
Don't buy any plants on the solar eclipse day, especially like Venus tri-chap looking ones. It's not a good idea.
Nobody knows.
Little shop aura reference? Come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on. This is our Thursday.
So Thursday is politics. So we have some things. Maybe we hide behind our political mask here and we only say what we think other people should hear, right? You're such a goofball. And then we're going to integrate that. So we're going to integrate our masks, and we're also going to integrate that shadow that's lurking in the background.
Right.
So
and let's not forget that Thankful Thursday, dealing with the heart chakra. You see that yin yang there? We're dealing with balance. We got to find that balance.
What I also love about this politics card, and we'll get into that on Thursday, but what I love about this is it's not saying that you're going to somehow ascend above it. You're integrating your own shadows. You're integrating the flaws that you rejected about yourself. Yep. So that's pretty interesting in your throat.
Dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Yeah. And then third eye is past life. We're going to be dealing with some past life healing energies. We're going to be in eclipse corridor.
Where's Sasha?
Sasha's going to do I think she's going to do my daily Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. It's
okay, guys. So this is Friday though, right?
Friday.
Yep. This is Friday.
And then on Saturday,
Fearless Friday.
no, that wasn't Friday, that was Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Saturday. And then Sunday, the last one, is our possibilities and how we're burdened by our own possibilities.
Are these
So
both in reverse?
yeah.
Both
So
in reverse.
so it's interesting because when we don't want ourselves to shine, maybe we're actually afraid of the responsibility, the burdens that it might cause when we actually open up to our responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
And it might feel like a burden, so we got to open up to that too.
Right.
So that's what we've got going for the week.
Ooh, is that enough? You guys think that's enough? You know, because if you don't, we could pull some more cards. You know, we could add an 8th day to next week if you guys want to do some more work. Like, give me that gold bowl. Let's seal the deal here.
Let's break it open. Okay, so we're gonna open up this week with the gold bowl. Since we are attracting, we want to radiate in our 24 karat magic in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We gotta be careful to sing that, and we might get copyright infringement.
Totally.
So we are going to be doing the gold bowl to really start our attraction.
Yes.
Please set your attention for the week to be beautiful, to be shiny, to be attractive, to be attracted to things that are going to help you. Don't be afraid of the shiny. You might there might be some shiny thing in the air and you go this way. Trust your desire, trust your attraction, trust your attractiveness. Let's be a little shiny in the summer. Let's be a little more radiant this week.
I'm going to do one of my favorite little chakra mantras, if you will. I'm going to take, you guys, if you've been listening to these videos, you've heard me done the sound for each individual chakra. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all together, okay? So we're going to start out at the base or the root chakra. We're going to work our way up. We're going to come back down. We're going to go through those. Just to refresh your memory, we're starting at the root, which is Lam. Then we have Vam. Then we have Ram. Then Yam. Ham. Sham. Finally, Om. So if you want a mantra along with us, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to breathe in as we descend. And as I exhale, I'm going to let out that mantra. Okay. All right, let's seal the deal for the week. You guys ready?
Attraction.
I'm actually a little resistant. I'm feeling a little resistance. I'm like, I don't really want to seal in this week. This week looks really hard.
Well, because we've been dealing with
it's tough.
Shiny issues.
It's going to be challenging.
Confidence issues. So if you've been dealing with confidence issues, this is your week, y'all.
All right.
Let's do it.
Here we go. All right. I do this bull stuff a lot, but that one was like, woo!
We haven't brought the gold bowl out yet.
Right?
So it is done.
It is done. Oh, it's just begun.
It's begun.
It has begun.
It has begun.
It has begun.
It has begun.
Whew.
So we're going to be working on attraction. Join us all week on our YouTube channel. I do post them to my Facebook page, but if you want to keep up with them, please subscribe to our channel. Push the little gold bowl or the gold bowl.
The gold bell.
The gold bell. Because that will notify you that we are here to support you and help you through this confidence issue that we're all going through this week. Remember, we're in eclipse corridor, so this is going to be even more powerful, and it's going to be a complete total eclipse of the sun.
All right, so don't shy away, guys. I know it's going to be tough. I know some people are going to drop off. Some people are going to have a really hard time with this. This is why we have a community.
Yes.
Right? This is why we band together when it comes to these things, because sometimes we can't do it by ourselves. So if you need to reach out, this is the week, guys. Reach out to us, reach out to each other, band together like a band of brothers here. We're going to get up Kurahi. Yes, brothers, well, mostly sisters, I guess, in the Golden Collective, but there's a couple of brothers in there.
And if you need a little extra support, join the Golden Collective for that support. That's what we're here to do. Like, we are a basic Facebook community that's actually authentic. But it exists, it does, and we have it, and it's brilliant, and these people are dope, and they're amazing, and we're here to support each other, and we're here to be honest, and we're here to be vulnerable, and we're here to build each other up.
Yes.
And honor each other when we're in the mud and really seeing those things and being vulnerable and showing, I have some jealousy issues around this person. I have some jealousy issues around my blah, 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 whatever it might be. And when we are honest with those things, we bring it to the light. We bring it to expose it into the light so we can be free of that suppression that we have been allowing it to control our lives for just way too dang long.
Yeah. So remember, when you're dealing with this, when you're in the trenches, when you're having a tough week, it's all for your greater good. And the harder it is, the better the benefit.
And who knows? It might not be all that hard. It actually might be really great, and you get scared that you're being so joyous that you might lose it.
Don't let me intimidate you. You're gonna be just fine. It's a week like every other week, okay?
So we're gonna have a shiny week, and let's go get through our crap together.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you again tomorrow on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and share and do all the things. We very much grateful for it, and we really, really deeply appreciate it. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Namaste.